We've all borrowed from those that came before us. Van Gogh painted over a Japanese print. Dalí borrowed from a Dutch engraver. And Ed Sheeran played four chords in a courtroom and asked, "Do I own this? Or does everyone?" Now that AI is doing the same thing, we're calling it theft. But maybe the real problem isn't the tool, it's the fear of losing control. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the API for Everyone Daily Brief.
I stumbled across this really timely article in MIT Tech Review that I want to share with you today. It was written by Harvard professor, I'm probably not going to get this right, but Nitin Nohria. And it was all about him walking through museums in Amsterdam, in Boston, in Milan. And he was looking at paintings from people that most of us would know, Dalí, Van Gogh, Picasso. And he was noticing how they borrowed, they were inspired, they reimagined things of the past. And then he admitted that he used ChatGPT to help him write this article. And, unless you really know what you're looking for, it's hard to tell what parts he wrote and what parts ChatGPT might have helped him with. Now, the reason why this is so timely is because there's this creative tension right now that all of us are feeling when it comes to how we're using AI in our workflow. So why does this even matter? Well, we all say that we value this originality, but every time that creativity shows up in a new form, we seem to panic. And what all AI has really done is made this visible, how all creativity truly is borrowed, inspired, stolen, something from something else. It doesn't matter if it's that guitar chord, that brush stroke, or that next word that you're typing out or writing right now. And I want to touch on something because the Ed Sheeran that I alluded to here at the beginning, he had a court case back in 2016. And the court case was the heirs of the Marvin Gaye estate sued him about his song Thinking Out Loud. They said that he basically lifted some of the, I want to get everything right here, melody, harmony, and rhythm from the song, the classic song, Let's Get It On. Ed Sheeran ended up taking the stand and he played a 4-chord progression on his guitar, and he started weaving in songs from different decades. Now, we've all heard many songs are just 3 chords. He's playing a 4-chord progression here. And what the jury heard was this kind of the history repeating itself over and over through this 4-chord progression. Now, Ed Sheeran went on to win this case, but the message, it just goes deeper that creativity doesn't live within one song, within one person, even within one era, that everything is kind of melted together in some way, shape, or form. And I think because we're talking music, and this is everybody's language, we all understand music, that it's easy to comprehend where if you're a fan of rock music, it came from the blues before it. And if you're a fan of the blues, it came from the chain gang, the slavery songs that came before it. If you're a fan of rap music, it came from some of the African tribal songs and spoken poetry and that genre. If you're a fan of modern day country music, well, that went from kind of being this in the stick, almost hillbilly music. And then Shania Twain came on the scene and it kind of evolved into this, and Taylor Swift and so on, into this pop music blend with country music. And of course, it's more popular than ever. So everything is kind of being stolen and lifted from somewhere else. Now, AI just happens to be fluent in all of these languages. And it's making us ask questions we probably should have been asking this whole time. So how does this impact you? Well, if you write, pitch, brainstorm, graphic artist, create videos, create audio, podcasts, whatever that is, if you generate ideas for a living, you are deep in this conversation, even if you don't realize it. The tension is real because some will say if you use AI that you are cheating. If you don't use it, you're going to fall completely behind any business, any competitor that you have out there that's using it. But here's the thing, really, that it's not about, again, it's not about the tools. It's not like creativity is hiding inside of these tools. It's that we need to make sure that we're using them with intent. I say that almost every video. We are driving the intent. So whether you're painting with oils or you're prompting ChatGPT, it doesn't matter. It's about using these tools the right way. And what matters is that human touch that's behind them. The choices that you make, the taste, the voice, the edits. You're the one that ends up clicking publish or making that public or putting that chapter in a book or showing people that video or launching that podcast. Those edits, those decisions, unless you're just blindly copy and pasting, which I don't recommend, those are yours. Those are yours. And as professionals, our job is to master the tools. Don't let the tools master you. What are 3 things that you can do right now? I always want to give everybody a takeaway here. Well, number 1, log your creative choices. When you find a prompt that works, write that down. When you find a prompt that doesn't work, write that down. Keep track of your edits, your revisions, the things that you're doing. I've started looking at different posts, different newsletters, different scripts that I've written. I'm putting that into the project knowledge and I'm asking ChatGPT or whatever LLM I'm using to find patterns. What are some words that I'm overusing? What are some bad habits that I have? What are some of the rhythms that I'm using? So even though all of this is my voice, I'm still allowing it to evolve because I want to make sure that I'm speaking clearly, that I'm communicating effectively to the audiences that I'm speaking to. I might be much more casual over on Facebook. I might be much more blunt and brutal over on X. I'm going to be much more corporate and professional on LinkedIn and so forth, right? A video I put on TikTok might not really work for a YouTube video that's a little bit longer. So you have to look at the audiences that you're speaking to. It's not that we're being different people to those audiences. It's that our communication style has to evolve to meet people where they're at, but it has to be our message. So that's number 1, log your creative choices and really start making sure that you're not losing yourself as you're using these tools. All right, number 2, stop apologizing for using AI. There is no reason to apologize for using these tools. You need to use them like your job and your career and your future depends on it because it absolutely does. So do not apologize for it. And if you're new to using the tools, understand you're going to make mistakes, you're going to make errors, things are going to happen, but it's no different than when you started speaking for the first time as a child or you gave your first speech, whether that's in school or whatever, when you did your first sales pitch or your first marketing pitch. You go back and you look at those failures, you look at those mistakes, and you learn from them. You build upon them. So this is the future. Do not apologize for using these tools. And number 3, redefine originality with your team. And I already touched on how I'm doing that. I'm looking for patterns. I'm looking for new ways to say things, to meet people where they're at. Ask out loud, are you holding yourself accountable? Are you holding yourself to a higher standard than your peers, than your competitors, than fellow artists, fellow content creators? Whatever that is, you want to make sure that you're just working at that high standard. I'm not saying you have to be a perfectionist by any means, because I want you to put content out there. I want you to make mistakes. I want you to learn from that, but just redefine originality for you and for your team. One more thing. Nitin Nohria's final insight in this article is one that I think we should really remember, because in the article, you don't really know his use of AI, where it begins and where it ends. And we don't need to, because his fingerprint is over the entire article. What it does, and what I want you to take away, is the question, when you use AI, did it help you? Did you grow from it? Did you use it with intention? All right, so let's end this with a good question. What's one creative habit that you've changed since using AI? And has it made your work, in your opinion, more or less yours? I would love to hear from you in the comment section. If you found value in this today, please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share this with your friends. It will absolutely help spread a message that needs to be spread. And this has been your AI Daily Brief, so kind of threw me off there for a second. My name is Harrison Painter, and until next time, keep creating, keep innovating, and most importantly, keep up. God bless.
Thanks for listening. I'm glad you stayed. One more spark for the plans you've made. If this show hit, go share the vibe. Like, subscribe, let's build this tribe. Been blazing trails, now I'm building new. Launch ready's live, and the work is true. No hype, no bull, no vaporware, just real results.